What's good, YouTube? This is the very first video of the Dad Car series. Now, in this series, what I'm going to be doing is repurposing my daily driver, which was my GTR, because I now have new responsibility. No longer can I justify having a race car. Now I need a vehicle that's going to fit my new lifestyle. Now, there are a few different things that I'm looking for specifically in the vehicle, which I'll go over, as well as a budget in mind. Now, I'll eliminate a few vehicles before, try to narrow it down to between 3 and 5 vehicles to review overall so that I can decide for myself. Now, I'm not limiting myself to new. If it's gently used, that's okay. But there are certain guidelines that are just going to be mandatory. Without further ado, let's go ahead and review what exactly I'm looking for in this dad car. First off, budget. We're going to try to stick as close as possible to $40,000. I feel like that's a realistic budget to get a sporty dad car that's going to serve multiple purposes. Now, if it comes in a little over budget, that's probably not a real issue as long as the value proposition is there. And if it comes below budget, I'm more than happy to take that deal. But the value proposition is still going to need to be there. Aside from the budget, here are a couple things I want to make sure to hit on as I'm looking for just the right vehicle. First off is going to be safety. This is a dad car. I got to carry around the little Rugrat, and we got to make sure we're being safe. Ingress and egress, getting in and out of the vehicle for me, but mostly for the child, is also something that's going to be very important to me. Not to mention reliability. Reliability is going to be paramount. I got to be able to road trip this car without even thinking about it. I want to be able to jump in my car in Utah, drive to New York, and just know that I'm going to be comfortable, not even have to sweat it. Needless to say, this is going to need to fit a car seat in it, as well as it's got to be comfortable. It can't be something that if I'm going over bumps or potholes or whatever it might be, it can't jar the whole car. There's two more things I'd like to see out of this vehicle. One is an all-wheel drive system, which is not mandatory, but again, I really need this to be an all-around, fully encompassing vehicle. So unfortunately, that's going to eliminate the CTS-V, which would make this easy. I wouldn't even have to make this video if I needed a rear-wheel drive family car. I'd probably just buy the CTS-V. And then the other thing is going to be features. It's got to have great features, great technology, standard if possible, so you don't have to spend more money to get the upgraded package. But if it's not standard features and still in the budget, still fits a car seat and does everything else I'm looking to do it, I'll go ahead and move forward with that purchase. Now, there are a whole lot of vehicles out there that are going to fit in the $40,000 price range or below. So it's going to be pretty simple to eliminate a couple of vehicles based on a few different things. If it can't fit a car seat, I can't buy it. So that's going to eliminate the BMW 3 Series in any form, as well as the Mercedes CLA class. Both those are going to have too small of a back seat. And there are some other cars in this category with too small of a back seat that I'm actually eliminating for a different reason, which is that they're too boyish. And these are cars that I would be happy to drive, but as a dad, I just like something a little bit more well-rounded. I want it to feel professional. So those cars that either have too small of a back seat or they're too boyish are some of the favorites, the crowd favorites. The Focus RS, the STI, WRX, or an Evo. The final category of cars that are being eliminated are ones that just aren't sporty enough. This is going to be a car where if I don't have the Rugrats with me, I want to be able to go have a fun drive, just have a great experience, whether it's going through a canyon or just accelerating quickly on an on-ramp. Whatever the case is, if I'm going to spend $40,000 on a vehicle, I just really liked it to have a particular air of sportiness. Okay, let me read a list of some of the vehicles that I've classified as not sporty enough. So we've got the Hyundai Genesis, which is a fantastic vehicle, meets every guideline except it's not sporty enough. The Maxima, that doesn't offer all-wheel drive, and we already have one. The Audi A4, the Acura TLX, as well as any Infiniti or Lexus. I think they look really great. I just really don't think those brands have the sporty edge that they should. That's a lot of vehicles eliminated. Let me focus on some of the vehicles that I will be considering. In this episode, we'll review the Taurus SHO model, and then later episodes, as long as the Golf R has the correct size rear seat to accommodate a car seat, which I still need to verify. And then either the Chrysler 300C all-wheel drive or Charger SRT8 all-wheel drive, kind of the same car. Those are 3 cars that I will be for sure reviewing. And then as I move along, if I come up with other ideas, I may include one, no more than 2 more in this series to find the perfect dad car. Enough talking, let's go ahead and move on. Roll the intro. Alright, meet the Taurus SHO. Now, let me take a second to review some of the qualities that makes this eligible for a sporty dad car. Now, of course, it has a 365 horsepower twin turbo EcoBoost motor. It's got the power and it's all-wheel drive. This is actually not a brand new one. This is a 2010 with just over 70,000 miles that gets raced most weekends. I think out in Utah's local Mexico, if you will, this car has probably raced and beat more cars than any other that has raced before. Comfort's another factor. Of course, being an American vehicle, that's one of its specialties. It has very nicely padded seats as well as plenty of room, plenty of space for everybody within. Safety is another factor. Now, this has blind spot monitoring, all the airbags you could ever dream about. It's got the sonar cruise control that'll keep you in a safe distance, as well as the pre-collision system. I don't think you could ask for much more in terms of safety. This passes that test. Now, as far as being able to fit a car seat, you check that box too. I can recline my seat and be very comfortable, and you can still fit a car seat in the back. Features wise, that's one of the last things. I don't think you can ask much more than what we've already talked about. The pre-collision system, the sonar cruise control. It's got heated and cooled seats for the front passengers. In the rear, you also have heated seats. Again, plenty of space. And definitely one of the cooler features in this car is not only are the front seats heated and cooled, they're also massage seats, which is kind of cool. Now, I don't know if the implementation was actually that good. The massage seats are not the most comfortable things, and they're not going to be maybe like a massage chair you might sit down in at the mall or anything like that. If that's what you're trying to accomplish with it, that's not what the seat's going to do for you. What it might do on a long road trip, however, is help keep the blood flow going, reduce fatigue. The massagers are actually very subtle, and so it's not my favorite feature for comfort. Nevertheless, it is a feature I would not mind having. In terms of features, this Taurus doesn't really leave you wanting a whole lot more. Here we are in the Taurus, and I must say I'm pretty impressed. Brand new, these cars are going for MSRP approximately $48,000 for a fully loaded performance pack Taurus. However, after discounts and incentives, you're sitting just over $40,000, which qualifies this car for this segment. This is a lot of car. Physically, a lot of real estate for $40,000. This is a very large car. I think it was Matt Farah who did a review and comparing it to the size of the late 90s Tacomas, being about the same height. And that really lets you know that this car is not small. This is no Mini Cooper by any stretch of the imagination, but you do get to feel that in here. And it's not overdone. It leaves you with ample space in every area, especially in the back. So this car is going to be ideal for getting groceries. It's going to be ideal for long road trips, taking the kids to soccer, whatever it is that you as a dad need to do with this vehicle. Now, when the kids aren't in the car, assuming you're being a responsible adult, and they're not in the car when you're trying to race this vehicle, this Taurus lights up the competition. The performance numbers on this are very good. We've all seen the performance numbers. Instead of spending your money on the performance pack that the Taurus offers new, the owner of this car, my friend Bronson, actually suggests that you spend your money on a tuner perhaps instead. Spend a lot less money and you're spending it in better areas. It's just an ECU flash style tuner, and it improves the throttle response, on the low end, and then on the top end you're also getting a little bit more power. It's increasing the amount of boost. The performance pack gets you bigger brakes, as well as a little bit different setup on the suspension, which really just takes away the comfort aspect of this suspension, which is not necessarily super ideal. Now this is a very large car, which concerned me for this test of what dad car am I going to get, but honestly, it's not bad. You know, I thought it would feel really heavy, like the S7 that I've driven before and the S6. But the performance that this offers really, I don't know, it's set up right, where it's not a concern for me any longer. Let's take it for a drive. Okay, that was going up a hill. Okay, nobody's questioning whether or not this thing is quick. This car is very quick in a straight line. My major gripe is the sound the turn signal makes, but honestly, I can get around that. So far, I just went for a quick little spin. I'm overall very impressed with what this is offering in its package in its entirety. This car is very good, and one that I would definitely recommend as a dad car. Whether it's the one I actually end up purchasing for myself or not, we'll see. We got to see what some of the other competition is bringing to the table, and we'll check it out. So this is the Taurus SHO.